Okay, Mr. Ward, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
All right, now let me just kind of cut to the chase of the thing. I was engaged to the mama of his child, and we were just having a good time, and it was really getting ready to have a wedding, and the reception at Genghis Grill and everything was all set up. But unfortunately, she had fallen ill. COVID had got her, and then all of a sudden one day, she's just gone.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to take little Malaysia into my arms and try to explain things. I call it.
It all started with a tragedy. Mr. Ward steps into the courtroom, carrying the weight of love loss and fatherhood. He wasn't just engaged, he was building a future family. But when Ko took her mother, it shattered everything except his bond with little bit. What happens next shocks.
We just kicked it off right away. I'm talking about pretty much on the first date that I went on with them, because she brought her with her on our first date, which makes a lot of sense. And we just have been.
And Malaysia is the child?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is Malaysia?
She's 7.
Okay.
And, she's one of those smart little girls where you can't really get a whole lot past her. She's going to call you on your stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I appreciated about her. That's why we clicked so well, because her mama was the same way.
Sounds like a good kid.
Well, yeah, she's wonderful. I mean, she's on point with all of her schoolwork. She loves doing her homework. Our thing is to watch some Schoolhouse Rock on YouTube to let her know how the old school did it and everything.
Their bond wasn't slow. It sparked from the very first date. When she brought her daughter along, something clicked. 7-year-old Malaysia wasn't just a child. She was sharp, sassy, and instantly connected with Mr. Ward. But how strong can this connection truly be when the biological father's still in the picture?
Our favorite hangout is the Sesame Place. She loves to go there. She saw one episode of Lego Masters, and I took her to the Lego place out there and the shops in Willow Bend and everything. So it's like, that's been my road dog. That's been my everything and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds like the two of you have a great relationship.
Oh, seriously. I mean, I just love having her, like my own child. And I feel like that she is actually my own child. I know that she only likes broccoli with ketchup, and she likes fish sticks with ketchup, and she likes corn with ketchup. I don't know what this thing is about ketchup.
Me either. I don't like ketchup like that.
I don't either. But I know how she likes it.
From Sesame Place adventures to Lego building sprees, Mr. Ward wasn't just a weekend guy. He was her world. He knew her quirks, her favorite C, and her obsession with ketchup. But what seems like a heartwarming story is about to take a bitter turn.
I know that she's got to have that mood light on when she goes to sleep. I know that if I don't put those downy beads in with her blanket, that she's not going to sleep. So I do everything. I mean, I talk to the teachers. I got her on the after-school program. I mean, everything that I could possibly want to do for a child, I do for her.
Okay.
And so my thing is that, I'm doing all the things that a dad would do for his daughter. And little bit in me, it's like, hey, I mean, I might as well just go ahead and say that she's mine. Because, up until the time that she and I and her mother were together, that's just the way it was. When it was with her, I was with them. So it's like, I feel like I take care of her.
He doesn't just know her favorite food. He knows her nightlight settings, her sleep rituals, her school schedule. Mr. Ward tells the judge, "I do everything a dad does, but there's one title he doesn't have: custodial parent." And that's where things get complicated.
I figure I'd take care of it, then this cat over here, you figure that, that he's got something to say about it. When I've hardly seen him, granted, she's the child's daddy. I mean, yeah, every once in a while he'll come around. Every once in a while he'll visit her and all that kind of stuff. But he don't know.
What do you mean by every once in a while?
Oh, but every once in a while, it's like he'll come. He might honk the horn or whatever. He might ask her to come out. She'll come out and see. And that's the one thing about her. She knows no strangers.
Okay, so you're referring, you called him a cat. I mean, what?
Oh, okay. All right. Look.
So this is her dad.
This is her dad. Yes.
Oh.
But then Mr. Ward drops the bomb. The biological dad, he says, barely shows up, honking from the street, dropping by once in a while. Ward paints a picture of absence. But is it the full truth? The courtroom shifts as tension rises.
So you're saying he's not doing all of the things that you're doing with little bit, right?
No, not at all. I mean, really.
And you know that for a fact?
Well, this is how I look at it. If he was like a real man, if he was really taking care of his business, handling his business, then I wouldn't have any room to have proposed to Little Bit's mama. I wouldn't have even a place in her radar. But the fact that I did, to me, kind of says something. I mean, come on, man. It's like, you know.
So let me ask my question again.
Okay.
You know this for a fact that he's not active in her life.
Well, the one thing that I know is that a lot of things that she needs and that she likes and dislikes, he hardly knows half.
If he were a real man, Ward says he'd be the one in this courtroom. Not me, he claims that the dad's absence made room for his proposal. His role is love. But love isn't enough in court. Now it's time for proof.
As far as, I mean, come on. I mean, it's
Sir,
like,
give me 1 second. I'm about to have him wrap it up.
okay, okay. Well, look, all I know is this. When it comes between me and him, she comes to me. When it comes
that you know of.
Yeah, that I see. You know, I mean, every time that he comes, I give them their space, but I'm looking at her body language and she's like, man, when's this going to be over? So it's like.
Yeah, because she ready to come home with her real dad.
No.
Okay, Mr. Ward, give me 1 second. You know, your story was beautiful. It was very colorful. You know, and that's not to say that you're being untruthful about it.
She comes to me, Mr. Ward insists every time, but love routine and bedtime stories may not hold up in court. He's confident the child sees him as her real father. But that's only half the story, and the courtroom is about to flip thing.
However, I would like to also hear from Dad, because as you know, there are always two sides to every story, well, really three, and the truth lies somewhere in between them, right?
I understand.
So give me a moment, and I'll go over to Dad.
All right.
Now, Dad, it sounds like, you know, your daughter and Mr. Ward have a great relationship, but is it true these, you know, allegations he's saying about you not being very active and involved?
None of it, ma'am. I see my child every time I'm off work, and every time I'm off, I go and pick her up, and she stays with me for the whole 4 days. I work 3 days on, 4 days off.
Now the biological father speaks after staying silent. He defends his role for full days with his daughter. Every week the courtroom leans in. Is Mr. Ward's story slipping? Or are we finally hearing the truth from the man who never left?
When we talk to her on the phone, she says he's too invasive. He always, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he always in her face and want to know
Like
this.
a helicopter dad.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like a microscope. That's how she feels, and she don't like it. And then as far as me and my child's mother splitting up, you know, that was between us. That was years before she even met you, so you can't put that on me.
Well, you know, I can't put a lot on you. I mean, yeah, okay, fine. You can call me helicopter all you want to, but you were not there when her mama died, man. You weren't there to have to console her when she was crying and didn't go to sleep. You weren't there. I was there.
She says he's too much a helicopter, Dad. The father claims. Mr. Ward fires back. You weren't there. When she cried, I was 2 men, 1 child. And a heartbreak that neither can erase, but is love enough to rewrite the law.
I was at work. You didn't even tell me.
See, that's the thing. You are always at work. You're always at work.
And see, here's the thing. I know there are a lot of emotions going on. I usually don't let people talk back and forth to each other.
I'm so sorry.
But I do understand the underlying issue here. Especially with, you know, your fiance passing away. I definitely understand that. I am just trying to get some clarity here because
the judge steps in. Emotions are high, voices raised. But this is a courtroom, not a battleground, as both men defend their love. The truth begins to emerge. But one cold fact still looms. The legal paperwork may tell a different story.
According to the paperwork that you filed, Mr. Ward, there is a court order in place.
Yes.
And it names your fiance as the custodial parent and Dad as the non-custodial parent. And you are essentially trying to modify this order.
Well, yeah, because essentially, to me, I became the custodial parent.
Okay. And you understand how you feel is not what the law says, right?
I do understand that. But, Your Honor, the one thing that I do know is that the custodial duties I have taken on, and I know it's not by emotion.
Here's the twist. Mr. Ward never had legal custody. The order named Mom as custodial, Dad as non-custodial. And now with Mom gone, Mr. Ward is fighting the system with his heart, not legal rights, but in court emotions don't always win.
I'm not even just talking about emotion, I'm talking about my actions. The teachers know me. The teachers call me.
Hold that thought. the teachers know you as well?
Yes, ma'am. Now, granted, he lives closer to the school, so he's up there just a little bit more than me, but anytime they call, I stop what I'm doing and I'm on the way.
Okay. All right. It sounds like he's pretty involved. And tell me some things you and your daughter do together.
Well, I take her to piano. I pay for her piano lessons.
Okay.
Some days when I'm off, I take her. He takes her other days. I pay for her to be in karate class.
Okay.
We go to Six Flags together. We go skating together.
Both men show love, but the judge wants facts. Mr. Ward responds with receipts, parent-teacher calls after school programs, but dad is no slouch, either piano, karate, skating, and more. Who's the better parent? Is this a battle no one truly wins? Try to.
Okay.
Try to teach her how to bowl. We have fun. We go to my mom's house and, I drop her off, and she enjoys spending time over there mostly.
All right. So she has a good relationship with grandmother. It sounds like this child is just well loved all around with both sides. I mean, is there any chance of the two of you trying to get along
Not
to
at
make
all.
it work for the
She wants to
best
be
for
at
your
home
daughter?
with her dad, but he keeps saying, oh, she needs to be here, and my child's mother is no longer here, so I'm trying to get him to court to get full custody of my child.
Okay.
Bowling, skating, grandma's house. Dad opens up, and the judge sees a child loved by two men, both fighting for her future. The big question hits, can they ever get along? But one father has already made his next move.
So that's how that's gonna end. You're not gonna be around too much longer.
No, man, no. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. No.
Well, neither one of you are going to talk to each other like anything anymore. I'm ready to make my ruling. I've heard what the both of you have to say. I understand that dad is pretty involved with the child. He's paying for teaching her how to skate, paying for karate. She has a great relationship with her paternal grandmother. It sounds like dad wants to be a part of the child's life. I also understand, Mr. Ward, your heavy involvement with the child. You know, you have a nickname for her. You all do things together. You know, she loves ketchup. You know all about her nightlife and her sleep routines and everything.
Routines and everything like that. Then things explode. You won't be around much longer. One says the courtroom ignites, but the judge silences the storm. The verdict is near. Two fathers, one little girl. Land. A law is about to decide who truly stands as dad.
However, that does not negate the fact of what the law says. The child was not left with you by dad. Her dad is still alive. Sounds like he's very active. Doesn't sound like he, is a deadbeat parent by any means. He is making the expenditures that any parent would do. And he also said he's trying to petition the court at some point to get sole custody of his daughter. So based on that, I have no other choice but to dismiss your claim because you do not have any grounds to be petitioning this court for child support.
And just like that, the gavel falls. The law has spoken. Love isn't enough. Mr. Ward, though filled with heart and memories, holds no legal ground. The child's father remains the parent of record. But this isn't a story of defeat. It's one of love's reach, whether by blood or bond. Both men showed what it means to care for a child. If this story moved you, like, comment, and share your thoughts, because sometimes the courtroom reveals more than facts. It reveals the soul.